No, I need your help. No. Teachers first. No, yeah. I get confidence from you. No.
We are live.
Okay. No. Teachers first. No, yeah. I get confidence from you.
Rashmi, we are live now.
First of all, thanks a lot, Gitanjali, for giving me this opportunity.
That's really sweet of you. Let me see. There are some 30 people online. They are seeing us.
First of all, thanks a lot, Gitanjali, for giving me this opportunity.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I mean, I'm more than happy that
That's really sweet of you.
I'm able to create this opportunity. Wait, I think there is an echo. Let me. There are some 30 people online. So you are not listening any echo, right?
No, but I can't hear you properly.
Okay. I think now you can hear me better.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now I can hear you better. Yeah.
Yeah. So hello everyone. This is third part of Moha's Handmade series, and we are here live with Rashmi Mane. She is a jeweler from Kolhapur. Their shop is almost 80-year-old, which is like pre-freedom time. They started in 1944, and it's a wonderful journey if you see their how they make their jewelry. Rashmi has been telling me about a lot of old jewelry. She knows a lot of old jewelry type of makings. She's been telling me about the very traditional way of jewelry making which happens in Kolhapur.
Yes.
And I always found it very fascinating, and that's why I felt it will be really nice if other viewers can also get to see it. We people from jewelry world keep knowing these things, we keep seeing these things, but we know it's really fascinating for other women, since saris, jewelry is such a subject close to her heart.
Very true.
We love to see all this, and especially what happens behind the scene.
Yes.
And Rashmi really knows it. She knows, she understands it. She has a great knowledge of this fraternity, about traditional jewelry making, about the Kolhapur, what it known for its bead making. Rashmi knows it in and out. And today she is going to tell you about, how Kolhapuri jewelry is made. She will also show you a lot of rare pieces of Kolhapur jewelry, which they have been making for really long time. So this is a very interesting opportunity. I'm very happy to have you here, Rashmi.
Okay, thank you, Gitanjali. Should I go ahead?
Yeah, please go ahead. Just start with your journey, your family history,
Yes.
and we will take the session ahead casually.
Yeah. See, I got married 20 years back into this family who was into jewelry, actually.
Okay.
My husband's grandfather started it in 1944.
Okay.
So this is our 76th year in our business.
Okay, wow.
Yeah. So this is inherited, and my husband is still into this business. He was the one who encouraged me to get into this, and I started getting to know all the things, and this is how I started learning also the whole process. And now we are into traditional Kolhapuri jewelry, which stresses more on handmade jewelry. See, there is two type of work that really goes into Kolhapuri jewelry. One is the work of dyes.
Okay.
Old dyes, and other is the work of beads. And all the jewelry that is being made in Kolhapur is all inspired from the goddess Mahalakshmi.
Okay.
Yeah, goddess Mahalakshmi. And every piece has a bead or a dye in it. So every jewelry worn by Mahalakshmi has got a bead work or dye work in it. So these are the two specialties that goes into the Kolhapuri jewelry, is bead work and dyes. Now, I can't hear you, Gitanjali.
Yeah, the handmade beads of Kolhapur, which is like a wonder. It's almost like a
Absolutely.
man-made wonder.
Yeah.
So yeah, we would really love to know more about it. But please go ahead with your pace.
Yeah. The thing is that the beads which are made are seamless beads. Seamless is there is no joint. There are whole beads and they're very light. And as you have already mentioned it in my story, that you can make somewhere around 100 beads in 1 gram, which is really, I mean, people who don't know, it's very fascinating for them. How come 100 beads? So this is the speciality. Then each bead is handmade. So there is a lot of hard work that goes into that making of bead. It is very time consuming. It needs a lot of concentration. So it really is a very skillful job. So I've got some beads which I can show you and the jewelry made out of it, right? So these are called the Ashtapailu. It's eight facet bead. Ashta is eight facet bead.
Wow.
Gitanjali, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. It's
So
beautiful.
it is 8%. Yeah. So this is again one of the this handmade type of handmade beads. This is used in jewelry. Then we have got the dhana mani, handmade again, from which we make the dhana mani mar or pot, which I've got here, which looks something like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the holder is
Dhana
also very
mani.
interesting. The 5-layer mala.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And this is called as the Kirti Mukh.
Okay.
See,
Yeah.
the joints that join the whole strings are called as Kirti Mukh. This is again old dies.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you the history of this. These dies are inspired from the motifs in the Mahalakshmi temple's arch.
Okay.
Arch. So this safeguards the deity.
Okay.
This safeguards the deity. So
Yes.
it has got a Matsya, this on motive on it, which is a symbol of safeguarding. So
Okay.
this Kirti Mukh on any, for that matter, here.
Kirti Mukha are a lot of mandirs, Gabhara, this thing has, entrance
Yes,
has it
yes.
as a guard
Very
of the
true,
temple.
very true.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So when you wear it, there is some positive vibrations that jewelry gives you. So this is a very important thing, that jewelry gives you very positive vibrations.
Okay.
Right? So again, I've got this another interesting is the Bor Mani.
Yes.
Bor Mani, which is elongated, very traditionally worn by women's ear, rural women's. Then again, I've got a very interesting bead, which is called as very small. Actually, I don't think you'll be able to see it. I'll show it. This is called as tandaya.
Yeah.
Which are like rice pearls.
Yes.
These are made on hand, blowed on hand. Again, a very difficult task for Karagirs. Very ethnic, very rustic also. Yeah. Then let's come to dyes. You can see
what is the time frame they take when they are making beads. Now you showed me different type of beads. So
Yeah.
if one karigar is making a type of bead in a day, how many beads he can make?
See, it depends upon the size, and it depends upon whether they are gold and or if there is lakh in it. You must be knowing lakh. Lakh is a material which is pushed inside so that they don't they don't dent. Yeah, the bead doesn't dent, and still it is lightweight.
Right.
So there are many factors. It is the size. It is the making process, whether you wanted it gold, and the type of work done on each bead, which differs, right?
Okay. Okay. What is the difference between Zondhara Mani
Then-
and Dhana Mani? What is
I
the
can't
difference?
hear.
What is the
Yeah.
difference between Zondhare Mani and Dhane Mani?
Zondhe
Two
Mani.
different you said.
Now these are Dhane Mani, which don't have any this I want to any lines or any grains on it. These are plain. While I can show you some. These are Zondha manis, which are usually on the sides of the saz.
Okay.
Huh?
There's
Which
a
are,
lines also into it.
yes.
It has a lines into it. Yeah.
Yeah, which have got lines into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
These can be made in different shapes also.
Okay.
Dyes here, which are 400 years old.
Okay. This is Gulab Panadi dyed.
This is Gulab Phul. Yes, this is Gulab Phul. Then this is Kirti Mukh.
Mukha. We wear
Yes.
lots of necklace pendants. Yeah, necklace
Yes, which I showed you now. Yeah, this is Kirti Mukh. This is an interesting dye again, which is a Belpan dye.
Yeah, Belpan take मध्ये
Belpan
आणि
वापरला जातो.
side ला लावतात. It's beautiful.
Exactly.
It looks beautiful ornament.
And one of the most demanding and is the Thushi dye.
Oh, W Vajratic teeth. Uh-huh.
Yes, Thushi, and there are.
Yeah.
Now these are.
Oh wow!
These are the old Saz dyes.
This is street. Yeah, yeah.
Huh?
And these are bigger size.
Yes, these are big. These are the original one. Now you get the duplicate ones, but the work, finish in the work can be seen.
Yeah, yeah.
So dyes is something which is very predominantly used in Kolhapur jewelry.
Okay.
Bead work is something which is predominantly used in Kolhapur jewelry. We have been making stress mostly on handmade jewelry, not per demand, but because of the craftsmanship here. There are people making bead and or maybe tushi or teak or whatever piece of jewelry are specialized in their work here.
Yes.
All the tushis, all the teaks, all the bead work that goes from Kolhapur.
Wow.
So this is something very interesting.
Now, tell me what makes you special as into jewelry making. I mean, apart from other Kolhapur, what they are doing, is there anything different you are also doing in your?
Yes. See, we have been working into gold and traditional jewelry for past so many years. So basically, is the tradition. We have stick to our traditions. We have been making traditional jewelry. The demand for Mahalakshmi jewelry, that is the thushi, the teak, have you seen this chitak?
Yeah.
Chitak. Yeah. Something which people still don't know.
Yeah.
We are into this, and now we are getting into fusion of these dyes into contemporary pieces like this neck piece made from gulab phool.
Okay. Interesting.
Actually, gulab phool is something which is worn in the hair. Yeah. So now we have used these graduations of gulab phool and made a very contemporary neck piece.
Okay.
Yeah, which is very appealing. Again, we have this Wagner.
Wow. Beautiful.
Very rustically made into Ashtapailu Mani.
Okay.
Which are put up here.
Can you get it closer to the camera so people can see it nicely? Yeah, it's beautiful. Does it have ruby and emeralds into it?
Yes, it has got rubies, it has got emerald, it has got uncut diamonds into it.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Then we have some We have some uncut as on demand. We have been making some tushis in uncut diamonds also.
Okay, like polki type of setting.
Yes, yes. This also. Then there is a fusion of
Okay.
Borma.
Okay.
This is the
Okay.
This is the original Borma,
Yeah. Yeah.
and this is something we have come up with.
Okay. So you're trying to do fusion which contemporary women might like in what?
Yes, yes. We are trying to do the fusion with contemporary women like that, mixing up some beads, mixing up some stones as per demand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Rashmi, tell me, when it comes to old jewelry, what are the jewelries which came from Mahalakshmi, or what are the, or is there any history related to it, Mahalakshmi's jewelry, and which now has come to otherwise, as a traditional Maharashtrian jewelry?
I think in Kolhapur, what you get as Kolhapuri traditional jewelry, 90% of the jewelry is inspired from the Mahalakshmi Devi jewelry. 90%.
Okay.
There, here and there is some fusion of this, but 90% of the jewelry is inspired from the Mahalakshmi.
So the jewelry which was already donated to Mahalakshmi Devi or Ambabai,
Yes,
has come to a mainstream after.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Okay. So how about Putadachi Mala and all is still like are worn by people, because it's a very bold and beautiful ornament, but quite bold and this thing, quite statementish. I don't know how many women wear it still. And then what kind of Putada you make? Is there any variation into Putadas or?
See, this is the Putia which we have recently come up with. This is not the original Putia.
Okay.
This is the Putia which Mahalakshmi has.
Okay. So what is Lakshmi Har type?
Yes, yes, Lakshmi Har. And there is another one, I think you've uploaded it on the page.
Yeah.
The big one.
Yeah.
The big ones.
Yeah.
Which are in this cotton this, right? Those are again. So that is one form of putri. Then comes this, and this is a new antique form as per customers' choice.
Okay.
So there and the motifs that goes on every putri is different again.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
See, I mean, there is Lakshmi, but the motive or the dye is different again. Okay. The motive on this Lakshmi is different, whereas on this Lakshmi is different.
Okay. Okay.
So that is again a variation.
Okay, wonderful.
But everything is handmade, which again I want to stress that everything here, majority is handmade.
Yeah.
People still tend to buy, and I think the new generation is also for them also the Kolhapuri jewelry has become very trendy now. They are getting back to their roots. They want all traditional things again. So Thushi, teak are all again back in demand now.
Again back in demand means how many years before the
I will tell you.
demand for traditional jewelry?
Yeah. See, it was in recent years, maybe somewhere around 5 to 10 years back, tourism in Kolhapur again started on a very large scale because of the Mahalakshmi temple, right? So now there is a lot of tourism that comes to Kolhapur, people from various places. So that has affected the whole business here. Nextly is jewelry worn in historical movies.
Okay.
In Marathi soaps, Hindi movies, right? So, so people tend to look out for that jewelry.
Okay.
So that is again a changing trend, which I think they had never seen before, and never gone through books, historical books in search of jewelry. So
Right.
that again in 5-10 years has again brought in the trend of jewelry, which was a bit slowed down in between. So that has again helped, this historical movies like Tanaji or this serials going, Marathi serials
So
going on.
maybe last 7-8 years or
Yes,
something like has created more demand for traditional.
yes.
We are always happy about.
Yes. And in Kolhapur, I think there are there are families wherein there is a trend that though there is a piece of jewelry you already have, you tend to make it for your daughter. Maybe it is the same piece, so that it goes into the family, right?
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. So, Saz, Thushi, Teak, all these things, though there are, while the daughter is getting married, these pieces of jewelry are born to be made for the daughter, which passes on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now the artisans who are making this jewelry, are they mostly like who have been staying in Kolhapur, or it's a traditional craft in their family, or they're coming from outside and they're learning the art? Like we in a jewelry industry, lot of see artisans who are coming from Bengal.
Yes.
Okay, so we generally work with a lot of Bengali artisans.
Mhm.
But what is it with Kolhapur? What is different with Kolhapur in Maharashtra?
Very interesting question, Gitanjali. Actually, 90% of the population early in Kolhapur was into this bead making.
Okay.
Jewelry and specializedly bead making. म्हणजे घरोघरी, every household had someone or the other who was into bead making.
Okay, like I have heard about Hupri. In Hupri, every family practically will do only jewelry making. म्हणजे there in farms, this silver jewelry would actually go with wind,
Yes,
and they
yes.
would later collect it. That type of jewelry making.
Exactly.
That village.
तर तेव्हा असं होतं, म्हणजे दॅट टाइम इट वॉज अ ट्रेंड की ऑलमोस्ट एव्हरी हाऊस, म्हणजे आपण जरी म्हणलं नाही तरी इट वॉज लाईक एव्हरी हाऊस हॅड समवन वॉज इन टू ज्वेलरी, बीड मेकिंग, डाईसचं काम असेल, व्हॉट्सो एव्हर. हा.
Okay.
But then, looking at the scenario, changing trends, or the young generation maybe didn't want to. Now I'll tell you a very interesting thing wherein there is, I would like to mention here is, now people have dyes, right? Dyes, the ones who have, they have got it from people who sold out to them, because no one no longer is making jewelry in their family, right?
Okay.
There were families who were into this business, but by any chance there were no chances of the family going ahead with the business, sold out to the dyes who were already into the business.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
So that is the reason की 400 वर्षापूर्वी किंवा what is हे जे डाईसचं काम चालू होतं, which was going on, and suddenly family thought की बाबा there is no much of income, so they sold these dyes, original one, to someone who was interested in going ahead with this.
Right. Right.
So now one of my karigars has got 4,000 such dyes.
Oh wow. Okay. Very interesting.
Huh.
I know how valuable these dyes are.
I know, I guess.
I have had the times with artisans where they were not ready to stamp paper with them. No, this is my dye with
Yes.
never stamp.
They will not allow you to photograph it. Now rather touch it, take it away.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Priceless.
All the stories I have had with them,
Yeah.
I have like kind of convinced them to do it in silver. Now apparently a lot of them have started doing it in silver. Okay,
Yes.
what is the scene between silver and gold in Kolhapur now? Because now a lot of silver jewelry coming out of Kolhapur. Like a
Yes.
lot of Maharashtrian jewelry in silver also is happening in Kolhapur. But the
Yes.
quality, quantity, how they are making.
I think Gitanjali, you are the right person to answer this question.
No, I know, but then you are there, so we would like to know it from you. What is happening in silver in Kolhapur?
I'll tell you. Here in Kolhapur, investing is silver. People are a bit hesitant.
Okay. Okay.
Might as well get something in gold.
Okay.
If you're paying so much, why not get gold?
Okay.
Because while they go out to get something silver, and they know, and they come to know it's the price, then they said, why not invest in gold then?
Okay.
So that taste has not yet developed,
Okay.
still not. But then they do make a lot of silver utensils for wedding. That age old process is on. That doesn't. But jewelry, I think, is still not absorbed in them.
Now this is consumer perspective, but Kolhapur is also a maker and seller of jewelry. So in there, how many of them are making silver? Because as per I know, lot of them are making now silver jewelry.
They are making silver jewelry, but it is not made exactly.
Okay.
So it need to be portrayed very nicely. It needs to carry a history. There is no harmony. Every jewelry you have to carry it very gracefully. You have to portray it very nicely. It has to have a storyline. So that is where you get a lot of things made here. But if they are not showcased, it doesn't click the client, right?
Right.
So that I think that marketing techniques or the scope, all these things taking into
I think Kolhapur is mainly selling as wholesaler, so it's okay. I mean, they are happily selling it as a wholesaler than
and you are happy, and you people you are happily buying them.
As of now, we are making ours, but I keep making my bills and few stamps I get done from them. No, but it's a wonderful this thing.
But I'll tell you, something like your jewelry is still to get a market. It's an exclusive brand. You're making amazing jewelry, but
I equally love this traditional jewelry, and I keep doing the stampings and add something of mine and do some combinations that I do sometimes.
Okay,
I love to do that also. Those are different experiments.
Experiences.
Okay, someone is asking us that does dye making still happens? Does people still make?
Yes. Saz has got dyes. Sazachi je panadi aste.
Okay.
Panadi is all dye work which I mentioned you, right?
Right.
It still happens.
Okay.
There is there are almost 3-4 sas made every 10 days here.
Okay.
So this work goes on. There is gulab full jeche dyes vaparle jata as a pendant. It is used very with some of
this Panadi dye must be getting break also. I mean, it might get break also after certain use. I mean, if you use it for like 10 years, 5 years, it might get. Does it break any time?
I don't think so, because that is what I was asking my Kara Gates. He told me the original ones, the original dyes, he haven't have any experience of them breaking.
Okay. Okay.
The duplicate dyes are the ones which are broken. So these are original, really 400 years old dyes.
Okay.
So
they are brass madhe otlele astat.
Brass, yes. Very heavy, very strong.
Yeah. Okay, fantastic. So, guys, viewers, you can also ask your questions if you have any, and there are many people who are asking for your contact details and how they can make things with you and how they can contact you. We will upload those contact details for everyone, don't worry. And okay, so tell me, which is your favorite ornament out of this?
See, I'll tell you. This is my favorite ornament.
Chitak.
Chitak has been my favorite ornament since the day I never knew it is called as Chitak. It is very nice. It is very rustic, very contemporary, worn on Indo-Western clothes. Also very subtle, yeah, but a very a statement jewelry, I can say, from Kolhapur. No one has seen such piece of jewelry anywhere.
Yes.
And the uniqueness of this is every rural woman that comes to the marketplace for her, daily sell of daily produce from her village, you can find that a vegetable, women who sell vegetables, or maybe the one who sells curds, or the one who just comes from a rural area to sell something, almost each woman has got this in his neck.
Okay. Can you get it closer to the camera so people can see more? Okay. Wonderful.
Nothing great about it.
No, but it's beautiful. The shape and the simplicity is amazing.
Exactly. The simplicity is great.
Yeah.
So this has been my favorite, but
Which is the most difficult one to make?
I think the SAS is the one which goes to a lot of processing, then beads, and then putting up this beads, then joining, then this zav moti, this pendant. Quite a
Yes, I will try to show everyone the different dyes and meaning of SAS. Like I know them, but I have not got time to do that.
yeah.
I will try to do that.
And especially that every panadi, every leaf has a
Yeah.
specific meaning.
Yeah, there is Darim, Karla, there are different fertility symbols.
Yes.
Yeah, all and it was earlier treated as a Mangal Sutra for married women.
Still in Kolhapur, even if you wear this and you don't wear a Mangal Sutra, it's fine because it's the other ornament which is used for a Mangal Sutra.
Okay. So there are people asking few questions. I will try and get those.
Yeah, definitely.
Most of them are asking for your number.
Oh, that's great.
Is there a specific wood used in dyes? Do you use wood to make dye?
No. There is no wood.
Okay. Viewers, you can also ask any questions if you have. And so what is the current situation with artisans in Kolhapur and with COVID? How things are affected for Kolhapur, and what is right now happening with Karigars?
I think this is the second time or third time I've come, but I've been hearing news from how is the work going on. It is same. The scenario is same as it is everywhere. Things will start getting on this normal routine because it is very important for them to get back to their work for their earnings. So I think small work has been started, not on a big scale, but small work has been started. Because
season which a lot of marriages have been delayed, so now they will slowly start getting their things.
Yes, but I'll tell you a very interesting part. As soon as we opened the first day and we announced that we are opening and then alternate, people who were really, holding out, ki Baba, when is it opening? So there are people, no matter there is COVID or this, we are going to buy, we are going to this. There are people they have not cancelled their date, who will be doing their marriages on a small scale, buying gold, making jewelry, pre-orders, which we had already done. We have to deliver it. So all that has started and we'll get back to routine within some days.
It's very good to know because basically the whole chain is working. The artisans,
yes, it has to work. There has to be some flow, otherwise things will be really bad.
Yeah,
we are hoping for the good.
Okay, I hope to. So, is there any Karnataka or Goa influence on Maharashtra jewelry or Maharashtra? How the cultural exchange happen in terms of design? Because I see a lot of similarity between Karnataka, Goa, Maharashtra design. So,
I think Maharashtra jewelry is very independent on its. So Kolhapuri jewelry has a very independent significance on its own. Okay. There may be some sort of influence of Goa and Karnataka jewelry because there is use of corals, there is use of pearls in it, motifs and the work there. But predominantly Kolhapur is where you get a specific type of jewelry which is made here, which is very appealing to people here, wearable to people. They relate to this place, they relate to the temple.
Yes.
They relate to the history very much. So I think that is a benchmark of Kolhapuri jewelry.
Someone is asking, can you show the hand ornaments? Shinde Shahi Toda and all you have right now?
Yes.
So can you show it to them?
See, this is the Shinde Shahi Polki Toda we have come up with.
I think it's a little, yeah. Now, okay.
And there is another one which I can show you. Is this.
Okay. So tell them about Shinde Shahi Toda also, because it's a very interesting fact it has.
Shinde Shahi Toda is usually minimally made in 25 tolas. Each tola comes up to somewhere around 12 and a tola comes up to 12 and a half tola. Quite heavy, quite flexible. It takes shape of your hand. Very flexible. You can see it's very flexible. It takes. This is 12 tolas.
Generally, so one kada goes to 12 tolas.
2 goes to somewhere around 24 to 25 tolas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is how many in grams?
250 grams.
Wow.
Quite heavy. and the interesting part I mentioned in my write-up was the patent of the Shinde Shahi Toda is taken by the Scindia family of Gwalior, a royal family.
Yeah.
So this is a really worth making.
So now if they have taken the patent, every Shinde Shahi Toda made, do they get any royalty onto it? How the process happens?
No. It is just that once they have taken a patent, it is in the name that the Shinde Shahi Toda belongs to the name Shinde Shahi Toda belongs to the Scindias. That's all. There is no royalty in any making of the jewelry.
I'm not able to hear you properly.
Yes.
Yeah, now
I can hear.
Okay, so someone is asking what makes them stick to purity in comparison to other jewelers who make ornaments in 18 karat to. So what are the standard carats you use, and why 18 carats people use, a lot of people use 18 carats.
See, usually stone work is done in 18 carats. We use 24 carats. There is hallmarking. Purity is assured. There is hallmarking on every piece of jewelry.
Okay.
That is done.
So, do you make your Kolhapuri saz in what carat you make the traditional jewelry?
Traditional jewelry we make in 24 carat as per demand.
How do you get the strengthening to it?
See, usually that is the thing. Now this chitak which I showed you is in pure. See, you can just.
Okay.
It goes this way.
Okay. That's good.
So it is so ductile.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah.
Purity you can make. Then definitely you can look at the color.
Right.
People tend to come here because of the color of the gold also.
Yes.
The glaze of gold.
Yeah.
These are some of the.
And also, yeah. Is there anything more which you would like to show us? Because we will now close in 5-10 minutes. I would want people, if they have any question, they can ask.
I can go ahead with some questions if they want, or I can show some of piece of jewelry which I have got.
Yeah, please show us. I think viewers really want to see the pieces which you have.
Diamonds are saga. See, this is again Bakuli har worn by the Mahalakshmi.
Okay.
These are the Bakuli. Bakuli ji fula hai thi.
Okay.
Very delicately done.
Okay.
This is the Belpan teak, the dies which I had showed you all.
Yes. Wonderful.
Yes. is the traditional Mohan Mal. This is again something you must be knowing.
Yes.
Sari.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is like chitak.
I
but-
love it. This is
This is sari. Again, a very delicate and very subtle piece of jewelry. This is the Vajratik.
Oh yes, so many of them were asking for it.
This is the Vajratik. And very nicely, this because of this reds and the green stones all around
Yeah.
makes it very interesting. Otherwise, we have got this plain teak also.
How much time it takes to tie it? I mean, when they make this gadi behind and
Yes.
they add motifs and the bits onto it, how much
Well,
generally it
I-
takes to make one?
This thushi takes somewhere around 25 to 30 days.
Okay. Okay.
The whole process.
Okay.
See, there are 3-4 people which from who are involved in this process. Bead making, then entangling these beads, then putting it on the gadi and everything. So this takes somewhere around 25 to 30 days. And this takes a little lesser time, maybe somewhere around 15 to 20. But the whole process is again the same, except the amount of beads.
Right. Okay.
So it is something which is made again on hand.
Okay.
These are again some interesting dyes which we incorporated into pearls. These are again dyes
Right. Right.
which have put up in pearls, and there are Ashtapailu Mani in it, and there are Zondre Mani here. So this is again what we called is some fusion of some old dyes with some beads, with
Yes.
some different colored strings.
Someone is asking, this assembling gadi work, is it very exclusive of Kolhapur or it happens in other places also?
No, it happens, but it doesn't happen like Kolhapur because it is correlated. Bead works happens in Kolhapur, so the gadi work also has to happen in Kolhapur, right?
Right.
For the beads to
So,
get.
nuts, people, there are very intricate or different ways of how nut is tied in different type of
Yes.
moves. So,
Yes. Yes.
which is the place where it happens best, and or whether it happens in Kolhapur, whether there are different type of nuts are done in Kolhapur?
Nuts are also done in Kolhapur because the intricacy of the work that goes into nut there are specialized karigars who do that. It is woven very differently. The
Right.
weaving of the whole nut, the assembling of the pearl, the ruby is very difficult. So
Yes.
it is done in Kolhapur. And gadi work, the finish of the gadi, the assembling of the beads in the gadi is a Kolhapur work.
Okay. I think most of them, the questions are like, show it again or your number. So I think they can see our session again to see it again.
Yes.
Because we can't keep, I mean, it will be very difficult then, otherwise you will make them see it. And how to order. Rashmi, you can, once you are done, you can go back to the comments on Moha page and there are many comments. I will also try to answer.
Yes.
To
We'll do that.
We can later make them in silver also, and if we
Yes.
make them, we will definitely make it available for you. That's not a problem.
Yes.
So once this lockdown and crucial period gets over, we will definitely try to do that, and it will be wonderful to do that, I think.
Yes. Yes. Definitely.
Yeah. So yeah, I think the questions are similar, and a lot of people are appreciating. They're really loving your jewelry. Most of them are, it's fabulous. Do men buy the jewelry? Some people are asking. do men buy the jewelry, and what kind of jewelry they prefer in Kolhapur? Any traditional serial has an impact?
Are they talking about the men jewelry?
Yeah, men's.
There's a lot of trend that people buy here is the finger rings.
Okay.
People tend to buy finger ring here,
Okay.
to buy a lot of thick chain.
Yeah, and kadas, I think also lot.
Kadas. Sikh kadas are also made. Sikh kadas in this. Bracelets are made.
Okay.
But there are limitations to men jewelry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And someone is asking, do people prefer handmade jewelry to other? But do they understand the differences? I doubt. But does people understand what is difference between handmade and not handmade, and do they prefer or not prefer anything like that?
Oh, very nice and very interesting question, actually, Gitanjali. See, there is a trend now. You must be knowing handmade. I think 50% of the clientele just follows the trend without knowing what is handmade or what is the process that goes in handmade, the intensity of handmade jewelry, the real. And the 50% which are really into handmade, natural, organic, they have a very fixed palette of jewelry whatsoever. It may be clothing, it may be jewelry, it may be whatever. They have a very clear statement of what to get. So same as with jewelry.
Yes.
Some of my clients have a very fixed ideas in them when they come to. They know what they want to buy. They're very particular about make stress on making handmade. They never even question of any, because they know what they are buying and have been buying. The other confused customer just tend to follow the trend of handmade jewelry because others are buying. You may be knowing that. And very importantly, those what I have seen over years is it enhances your personality. Handmade things have a different statement to make that enhances your personality, and it gives you a very different confidence somehow.
The boldness of handmade jewelry is what makes it a statement piece, and that
Exactly.
stand out than others. And especially the bead making of Kolhapur has done a remarkably different thing for entire state to create a different jewelry altogether, because it's not seen in other states the kind of bead making what we do and the kind of jewelry which is made from the Kolhapuri bead making. So I
Yes.
know how it stands out. My grandma had two, three pieces, and I was extremely fascinated by them always. Although
Yes.
I never liked what came in between period, what a lot of intricate jewelry used to be very in 20 years back and all.
Back.
When I got married 15 years back, that intricate jewelry was quite in thing. But I somehow never liked that so much. How much
Yes.
my love
Very
for
true. Very true.
gold jewelry was always there. It was always there. I was one earlier who was very fascinated by tribal silver. So I
Okay.
used to feel that gold and that intricate gold is not so cool thing. But now when I'm in
Okay.
the field, I'm seeing how they make it. I have a lot of respect for it because I know how much
Exactly.
gold.
Exactly. Very true.
And the traditional gold beautiful jewelry has always been something close to heart. One of the reason why I came into it to make it.
Yes. And you have seen also people working how time consuming, how endlessly people work on it. It is quite a skillful job. While machine or jewelry is quite easy to make.
Yes. Yes. Also, creativity of person is something which really
I
makes.
can't hear.
Okay, Ashwini is asking, can you show us Tara Mandal or Tara Mani, or also Waki if you have right now with you?
ए सुनील तारामंडळ आहे का बाकी आहे का अँटिक चांदीची बाकी आहे दाखव, पटकन दाखव. I can show you a antique Chandichi Vaki because now I think it is time to shut down and there is some.
Yeah, and now also we will have to close because
Yeah, but I can definitely show you. Any more questions to be answered?
No, I think you have answered a lot of questions and a lot of interesting facts have come out from this conversation. We
Okay.
have really a highest number of viewership for this segment until
Oh,
last three.
lovely. Then all credit goes to you. You've been an amazing support to every this right from the time you made jewelry. I've been a fan of yours. Just a minute. This is
Okay. Yeah.
this is not the recent. It is really old.
Yeah.
Something really old, and this is some we have been making gold ones in this also.
Okay.
Yeah, Baki.
This is so beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah. So, Rashmi, thank you very much. It was such a lovely conversation. I am so happy we made it. And people could see some real rare jewels because a lot of them have not visited Kolhapur and not seen Kolhapuri jewelry.
Okay.
They've
Now,
seen in other states. And
now-
we have a lot of people who are seeing it from Bengal and from other states also.
oh, that is lovely.
So they will get to know what traditional Maharashtrian jewelry looks like.
Yes.
Very happy, and
Yes.
thanks a lot for opening your showroom for us today. Today actually they are allowed to right now work only alternate days for specific
Yes.
time, but Rashmi made it open for us so that she can show you this jewelry to you. So special thanks for it.
Oh, that's
And I really love all of this. Thanks a lot, Rashmi.
oh, my pleasure, Gitanjali.
Yeah.
And I hope I could answer all the queries that you had asked me. Tried to show as much I can in this 45 minutes.
Yes, you have answered them really well, and you will see. I mean, I will also share it on my timeline, and it will be saved on Moha timeline, so you can see a lot of questions there.
Okay, definitely. I'll try to answer them as much as possible. Okay.
Okay, thanks a lot, Rashmi.
Bye, Gitanjali. Thank you.
Yes, bye.
Yes.